we are taking some problems from NCERT book and we are trying to solve it properly. Okay, so listen carefully. At first we are taking the first question, that is x minus 2 equal to 7. That is the equation. So we know all the methods already, we have learned it. Okay, so here the equation is x minus 2 equal to 7. So here on the left side minus 2 is there, so we have to transpose minus 2 on the right side. Okay, so that we can find out the value of x. So we can write it by transposing the value minus 2, x equal to 7, and then if we transpose minus 2 on the right side of this equation, then we will have plus 2. Okay, so the equation now we get x is equal to 7 plus 2, that gives us x equal to 9. Okay, so you can transpose it, or we can say that in another method, that is the equation is x minus 2 equal to 7. So here we have to find out the value of x. Okay, so to find out the value of x, we have to omit this minus 2 or minimize minus 2. So we can do one thing, that we can add plus 2 on the both side of the equation. So here it will be x minus 2 plus 2, and on the right side it will be 7 plus 2, and the condition is we are adding 2 on the both sides. Okay, this is the conditions. So you can write the conditions inside the third bracket also. Okay, so here minus 2 and plus 2 gives us 0, so x and then plus 0 gives us x equal to, and then 7 plus 2 equal to 9. Okay, so the value of x is 9 here. Okay, go to the next slide. So this is the question number 2. Same question, x plus 3 equal to 10. So also we have to find out the value of y. So here the equation is x plus 3 equal to 10. Okay, so we have to find out the value of y. So here on the left side it is plus 3, so we have to minimize this value plus 3. So if you want to minimize this value, we have to add minus 3 on the both sides of the equations. Okay, so we can write it y plus 3 minus 3, and then on the right side 10 minus 3, and also you have to write down the conditions. That condition is you are adding minus 3 on the both side of the equation. Okay, so here it will be minus 3 and plus 3 gives us 0, so y plus 0 gives us y, and then on the right side it will give us 10 minus 3 equal to 7. Okay, got it? So one simplest method is that if you have the variable adding with some values, then you have to minimize these values first. Okay, like that way. So here plus 3 is the value adding with the variable y, so our first aim will be we have to minimize the value. Okay, so here we are adding minus 3 on the both side. Okay, go to the next question. So here the question is 3 by 7 plus x equal to 17 by 7. Okay, so the equation is very clear. So here we are having 3 by 7 adding with x on the left side. So our first aim is to minimize this value. So how can we do that? Already we have learned in the previous examples. So here we can do that 3 by 7 then plus x equal to 17 by 7. Okay, so here if we want to minimize this value, so how can we minimize this value? Either we can transpose this value on the right side, that will be x equal to 17 by 7 and then minus 3 by 7. okay, and then we have to find out the LCM and we have to find out the value, okay. Or we can do one thing, that the equation is 3 by 7 plus x equal to 17 by 7. So we can write it that 3 by 7 plus x, here we have to minimize the value 3 by 7, so we can minimize the value using opposite sign of this value, so that will be minus 3 by 7, and then on the right side it will be 17 by 7 minus 3 by 7. So we have to write minus 3 by 7 on the both side, okay, to minimize this equation. So therefore on the right side we have the 17 by 7 minus 3 by 7, and on the left side we are having 3 by 7 plus x minus 3 by 7. So this will omit, okay, and we will get x and then equal to 17 by 7 minus 3 by 7. So if we have the LCM, so LCM will be the 7, and on the top it will be 17 minus 3. So it gives us x equal to 14 by 7, okay. So if we get x is equal to 14 by 7, because 17 minus 3 by 7 gives us 14 by 7. So we will have, if we cut it, then we will have x is equal to 2. So the answer is x is equal to 2. Got it? Okay, go to the next. So here is the question. The question is 1.6 equal to y by 1.5. okay, so look it very carefully. In the previous examples the values were adding with variable or subtracting with the variable, but here the equation is 1.6 equal to y by 1.5. okay, so one thing we can do, that we can do 1.6 equal to y by 1.5, then we can multiply 1.5 with 1.6 and 1 into y, okay, by using the cross multiplication method. Otherwise we can do one thing, that in this example 1.6 equal to y by 1.5, okay. So here we have 1.5 at the below of y variable, that means 1.5 is denominator here, okay. So if you want to omit this denominator, here it is, okay, so we have to multiply 1.5 here, okay, on the right side. So once we are multiplying 1.5 on the right side, also we have to multiply this value with 1.6 on the left side also, okay. So if we multiply on the both side, on the right side it gives us 1.5 and 1.5 omitted, and gives us y on the right side. And here if we multiply 1.5 into 1.6, it gives us 2.40, okay. So the value of y equal to 2.40, okay. So you have to look it first, that the variable is which condition, it is adding with some values, it is subtracting to some values, or multiplying or dividing, okay. So if any value is multiplying with the variable, then we have to divide the same value, okay. So here, so go to the next. So now we are taking some problems from exercise 2.2, okay. So in exercise 2.2 we will have theoretical problems. Okay, so the first problem is, look at very careful. If you subtract 1 by 2 from a number and multiply the result by 1 by 2, you get 1 by 8. What is the number? Okay, so all these problems you have to remember one thing, that you have to look it first the question, what is the number? Okay, and you have to convert this question into the answer. So here the question is, what is the number? So the answer will be, the number is, you can take any variable x, y, a, b, c, anything. So here we are converting this question into the answer, that is the number is x, we are assuming. Got it? So your first aim will be, you have to convert the question into the answer. So here we are taking, or we are assuming that the number is x. Okay, and then read the sentence from the beginning and apply it. So the number is x, the answer. Okay, so we are writing the answer here. Okay, x. Now read the statement. If you subtract 1 by 2 from a number, so what is the number? The number is x. So write this x, the number is x. Then read, if you subtract 1 by 2 from a number, so what will be the equation? X minus 1 by 2. Any problem? No. Then, and multiply the result. Result means this result, whatever we will get, x minus 1 by 2. Multiply the result by 1 by 2. So multiply, so multiply sign, and then by what? By 1 by 2. Okay, got that idea? So here, sorry, we are subtracting 1 by 2 from the number, that is x, and then read multiply, then the multiply sign, and then by 1 by 2. So it will be multiplied by 1 by 2. So multiplication sign, then 1 by 2. Then the statement is, you get 1 by 8. So whenever the question is get, results, is, that means it will give you the equal sign. Okay, so get means equal sign, you put equal sign for get. Okay, so get means equal sign. So whenever you have the word get, is, results, you put equal sign, and then 1 by 8. So I think it is clear to you. Okay, so now the equation is, so the equation we are getting here according to the question, 1 by 2 multiplied with x minus 1 by 2 and then 1 by 8. Okay, okay, so now look at x minus 1 by 2 inside the bracket, and it is multiplied with 1 by 2. Okay, so our basic aim is to find out the value of x. So here we can take, so the basic thing is that whatever value is remaining with x, we have to omit 1 by 1. So at first outside the bracket it is 1 by 2. So at first our aim will be to cut this value, that means 1 by 2. So how can do that? If we multiply 2 on the both side, so it will give us, okay, on the right side 1 by 4 and on the left side x minus 1 by 2 equal to 1 by 4. Okay, got it? So now on the left side it is x minus 1 by 2. So here the term is minus 1 by 2. Again we have to omit this value. So how can we omit this value? So to omit this value we have to add 1 by 2 on the both side. So x minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 equal to 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2. Okay, okay, I am writing it clearly. So the equation is x minus 1 by 2 equal to 1 by 4. So to minimize the value minus 1 by 2, we have to add 1 by 2 on the both side, so that gives us x minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 equal to 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2. Okay, so on the left side we get minus 1 by 2 and plus 1 by 2 omitted, and we will get x equal to 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2. Okay, so now the LCM of 4 and 2 is 4, so it gives us 1 plus 2. Okay, so it gives us x is equal to 1 plus 2 by 4. Okay, so x is equal to 3 by 4. So the value of x is 3 by 4. So the now whatever we are assumed, the value is x. Already at the beginning we assume the value or the number is x. So here the x is 3 by 4, so the number is actually you get that is 3 by 4. So the answer is, the number is 3 by 4. Okay, got it properly? If you have the problem, then pause it and recap it. Okay, go to the next question. The perimeter of a rectangular swimming pool is 154 meter. Its length is 2 meter more than the twice its breadth. What are the length and breadth? Okay, so again we will be doing the same thing as earlier. So here the question is, what are the length and breadth? So our aim is to find out the length and breadth, and already we have learned that we have to convert question into the answer. So here the question is, what are the length and breadth? So assume that here the breadth of the pool be x. Okay, and we have to find out the length of the pool. Okay, so here we are taking breadth as x. Your question will be, sir, why you are taking breadth first as x? Because length is depend on the breadth here. Okay, why? Look at the question carefully. Here the question is, its length is 2 meter more than twice its breadth. Okay, so here length is dependent on breadth. Okay, so that's why we are taking breadth as x. Okay, and we are trying to find out the value of length. Okay, so here we have assumed that the breadth of that rectangular swimming pool is x meter. That means x. Okay, because x is a variable here. Okay, so what will be the length of this swimming pool? So read the statement. Its length is 2 meter more than twice its breadth. So what is the breadth? Breadth is x. Okay, so twice its breadth, so that will be 2x, twice of breadth. Okay, and then 2 meter more, so it will be 2x plus 2. Okay, so the breadth is x meter and the length of this rectangular swimming pool will be 2x plus 2 meter. Got it? Okay, so already we have the value of length and breadth. So now we are trying to find out the perimeter of this rectangular swimming pool. So here look at the first statement. The statement is, the perimeter of a rectangular swimming pool is 154 meter. Okay, so we know the basic formula of perimeter of rectangle. Okay, so the perimeter of the rectangular is equal to 2 into length plus breadth. Okay, this is the formula of the perimeter of a rectangular. Okay, so if we put this formula in this question, then it will be 2 into what is the length? Already we have done it. Length is 2x plus 2. Okay, and then we have to put the value of breadth. So what is the value of breadth? That is x. Okay, so we have the value that is 2, and inside the second bracket addition of or sum of length and breadth. Okay. So now we are writing here the breadth, that is b, x meter, and the length here will be 2x plus 2 meter. Okay, and for this formula perimeter equal to 2 into L plus B, here it will be 2 inside the bracket 2x plus 2 plus x. Okay, and according to the question it is equal to 154, because here the statement is the perimeter of the rectangular swimming pool is, so we know is means equal sign, so here put the equal sign and write 154 on the right side. Okay, got it? So this is the procedure to write the statement according to the question. So now we will be solving the problem or the expression. So we got the equation, that is 2, and inside the bracket 2x plus 2 plus x and equal to 154. Got it? Okay, now look at the left side, it is multiplied by 2. So if we want to find out the value of x, we have to omit all the terms related to x. So here at first outside the bracket it is 2, so if we want to omit this value we have to divide both side by 2. Okay, so if we divide both side by 2 we will get 2x plus 2 plus x. Okay, on the left side, because 2 and 2 cut it, and then on the right side we will get 77. Okay, so ultimately we get 77 on the right side, and on the left side it will be 2x plus 2 plus x. Okay, got it? So now here it is 2x and x, so we can add those values, so we will get 3x plus 2 equal to 77. Okay, we got. Now on the left side we have to omit plus 2 because we have to find out the value of x. So here we are adding minus 2 on the both side of the equation, so it will be 3x plus 2 minus 2 equal to 77 and minus 2. Okay, so it gives us minus 2 plus 2, cut it, and then we got 3x equal to 75. Okay, so once we got 3x equal to 75, then we have to find out the value of x. Here 3 is multiplied with x, so we have to omit 3 or cut the value 3. Okay, or minimize the value 3. So once we can do that, we have to divide both side by 3. If we divide both side by 3, so on the left side it will give us x, because 3 omits 3, and then on the right side it gives us 25, because 3 into 25 gives us 75. So ultimately we got x equal to 25. Okay, got it? So already we have assumed that the value of breadth is x and the length of this rectangular swimming pool is 2x plus 2. Okay, so in this equation already we got x is equal to 25 meter. So x means the value of breadth, so the value of breadth is 25 meter, and then the value of length is 2x plus 2. So we are putting the value of x here, 2 into 25 plus 2. So 2 into 25 gives us 50, and then plus 2, this gives us 52. Okay, so ultimately we got the result. The value of length is 52 and the value of breadth is already we got 25. Okay, okay, so here the length equal to 52 meter and breadth equal to 25 meter. Got it? Okay, go to the next question. Here is the question, very simple question, one statement question. So read it first. Okay, so question is, sum of two numbers is 95. If one exceeds the other by 15, then find the numbers. Okay, so read these statements very carefully because it has the question here, find the numbers. Okay, so here is the condition that if one exceeds the other by 15, you have to read it very carefully. So here in this question we have to take two numbers because here is the sum of two numbers is 95. So that means we have to assume two numbers. Okay, but here is the statement condition of the numbers. So let us assume that one number is x. Okay, so what will be the another number? Then read the statement. If one exceeds, here one means one number, if one number exceeds the other number by 15. Okay, so exceeds means it will be added by 15. Okay, so if one exceeds the other by 15, that means if one number exceeds the other by 15, so if the one number is x, so what will be the other number? That will be x plus 15, because here is the statement. Why? Because this number is exceeds this number by 15, that means it is greater than, because 15 adds to this number. Okay, so we got that one number is x and another number is x plus 15. Okay, so read the statement. Sum of two numbers is 95. So what are the numbers? One number is x and then sum sign, and then other number, that is x plus 15. Okay, and here is the is means already we have told that equal sign, and then put 95 because here is 95. So we got the equation, that is x plus 15 equal to 95. Equal sign means is and then 95. Okay, so x plus x, it gives us 2x and then plus 15 equal to 95. So if we want to find out the value of x, at first we have to omit this number or the term, that is plus 15. So 2x plus 15 then minus 15, and on the right side also it will be minus 15. Okay, so here we are adding minus 15 on the both side, or you can say that we are subtracting 15 on the both side of the equation. So it gives us 15 plus 15 and minus 15 is 0. So 2x plus 0, that gives us 2x. So here we got 2x on the left side, and on the right side it will give us 5 and 5 0 and then 80. So we got 2x equal to 80. So what will the value of x? Here 2 is multiplied by x, so we have to divide this number on the both side. So 2x by 2, and on the right side it will be 80 by 2. So 2 gives us x on the left side, and on the right side it gives us 40. Okay, so x is equal to 40. So here x is equal to 40 means we have already assumed that one number is x. So we have assumed that one number is x and another number is x plus 15, because the next number exceeds by 15. Okay, so we got x is equal to 40. So one number is 40 as we assumed, one number x, and another number will be x plus 15, that will be here 40 plus 15. that means 55. So one number is 40 and next number is 55. Okay, I think it is clear to you. Okay, go to the next slide. Next question is very much important questions. Okay, the question is the three consecutive integers add up to 51. What are these integers? Three consecutive integers adds up to 51. So that means we have to take three consecutive integers and it gives us the result 51. Then we have to find out the value of those integers. Okay, so if we write the normal integer value, suppose 1 2 3 4 5, okay, any three, suppose we are taking first three, so we write then 1 2 3. Okay, now if the first number is 1, so for the integer next number will be increased by 1. So 1 plus 1, that gives us 2, and again plus 1 gives us 3. Okay, so for integer numbers, basically you can say that for three consecutive integer numbers it will be incremented by 1. Okay, so if we think that the first integer is x, so what will be the next integer? That is x plus 1. Okay, and so what will be the next number? X plus 2. Yes, understand? So that is basically three consecutive integers. As suppose this is 1, so it will give us 2, it will give us 3 if we put the value of x1. Okay, so basically we got that for three consecutive integers the numbers will be x, then x plus 1, and then the number is x plus 2. Okay, if the question is 4 consecutive integers, then the next number will be x plus 3. Okay, because it is incremented by 1. So for this question we have three consecutive integers, that is x, next x plus 1, and then x plus 2. Now read the question. Three consecutive integers adds up, so we have to add all those integers, that is x, then x plus 1, then x plus 2. Okay, adds up to 51. That means adds up to 51 means it gives results 51. So we can put equal sign and then 51. Okay, we can write it clearly, that is x plus 1 plus x plus 2, then equal sign. Here adds up means equal sign and then put 51 on the right side. Okay, now add all those x, so we got 3x and then plus 1 and plus 2, it gives us plus 3 equal to 51. Okay, so now the basic equation is 3x plus 3 equal to 51. Here we can omit this value, so we can write minus 3 on the both side of this equation to minimize this value. So we got 3x on the left side, and on the right side we got 48, because 51 minus 3 gives us 48. So basically we got 3x equal to 48. 3 is equal to 48. Again same thing, 3 is multiplied with x, so we have to minimize or omit this value, so we can divide by 3 on the both side, it gives us 3 on the left side, and on the right side it gives us 16, because 3 multiplied with 16 gives us 48. So basically we got that x is equal to 16. Okay, so what are the numbers we already assumed? One is x, another one is x plus 1, another one is x plus 2, and already we got x is equal to, the value is 16. So one number is 16, next number will be plus 1, so 16 plus 1, that is 17. Next number will be x means 16 and then 2, that gives us 18. Okay, so what are the numbers? Numbers will be 16, 17 and 18. All three numbers gives us 51 when it added up. Okay, understand? If you have the problem, then pause it and watch it again. Okay, so here three consecutive integers are the 16, 17 and 18. Okay, so next question, question number 10. The question is, the number of boys and girls in a class are in the ratio 7:5. Okay, the number of boys is 8 more than the number of girls. What is the total class strength? So at first we have to find out the number of boys and girls, then if we have the sum of this number, then we will have the total class strength. Okay, so read the first statement. The number of boys and girls are in the ratio 7:5. Okay, got it? Then the statement is, the number of boys is 8 more than the number of girls. It is important. Okay, because here the number of boys is dependent on girls. Okay, so as the number of girls is not dependent, then you can assume the number of girls as x here. Okay, then we can find out the number of boys here, because the number of boys is 8 more than the number of girls. So if we assume that the number of girls in this class is x, then the number of boys in this class will be x plus 8, because the number of boys is 8 more 8. So here if the number of girls is x, then the number of boys will be x plus 8. Okay, so the number of girls is x and the number of boys is x plus 8 as per the question. Okay, now read the first statement. Here it is the ratio between boys and girls. So what is the ratio of boys and girls? That is 7:5. Okay, so according to the question, we can write the expression like that way. Number of boys already we have got, that is x plus 8, and the number of girls x at bottom gives us the ratio 7/5. Okay, so in this question the ratio is 7:5, and as per our assumption, the ratio is x plus 8 is to x. Okay, so this is the equation, basic equation. So now we will be solving this equation in simpler method. So according to the question, x plus 8 by x equal to 7/5. Okay, got it? Now already we have learned about the cross multiplication, so we can multiply 5 to this part, and also we can multiply x to the upper part of the right hand side. So it gives us basically 5 into x plus 8 on the left side, and on the right side it is 7 into x, that means 7x. So on the left side we got 5x, 5 into x 5x, then plus sign, and then 5 into 8 gives us 40. So it gives us 5x plus 40 equal to 7x. Okay, so once we are writing this, 5x plus 40 equal to 7x. Okay, so one thing we can do, that we can transpose this value on the right side. Okay, okay, so we get 40 on the left side and 7x minus 5x on the right side. Here it is minus 5 because we are transposing the value. Here it is the sign of 5x is plus, so on the right side it gives us minus 5x. Okay, so ultimately it gives us 40 equal to 2x. Okay, 40 equal to 2x, so we can write it 2x equal to 40. We are writing the variable on the left side because we have to find out the value of the variable x. Now it is multiplied by 2 on the left side, so again we have to divide both side by 2, so it gives us 2x by 2, and on the right side it gives us 40 by 2. Okay, so now it gives us x on the left side and 20 on the right side. Okay, so we got that the value of x is equal to 20. Okay, so we assume that already we assumed the number of girls is x and boys x plus 8. So once we got the value of x, that means the number of girls in this class is 20. So what will be the number of boys in this class? That will be x plus 8, because we have already assumed it. So x plus 8 means 20 plus 8, that gives us 28. So that means the number of girls in this class is 20 and the number of boys in this class is 28. So the question is, what is the total class strength? That means total number of boys and girls. So girls, the number of girls is 20 and boys is 28, so it gives us 48. So total class strength is 48. Okay, I think it is clear to you. Okay, the last question of this session, it is very important questions. It is very important question, so look it very carefully. If you like this video, then like it, share it and subscribe it. Okay, so now the question is, Lakshmi is a cashier in a bank. She has currency notes of denominator 100, 50 and 10 respectively. The ratio of the number of these notes is 2:3:5. The total cash with Lakshmi is 4 lakh. How many notes of each denomination does she have? Okay, so the currency notes she has, one is 100, then 50 and 10 respectively, as per the question. Okay, then the statement is the ratio of the number of these notes, the number of 100 currency note, the number of 50 currency note and the number of 10 currency note is 2:3:5. Okay, so if we have the ratio of the number of notes, then we can convert it into the number of notes. So we can write that the number of notes be 2x, 3x and 5x. Okay, that means 100 currency note, the number of 100 currency note is 2x, the number of 50 currency note is 3x and the number of 10 currency note is 5x, because here is the ratio 2:3:5. Okay, got it? So according to the question, we can write that 100 into 2x plus 50 into 3x plus 10 into 5x equal to 4 lakh. Okay, why we are multiplying this? Because the total cash with Lakshmi is 4 lakh already given. So if we multiply the number of notes to the currency of notes and adds all those, then it gives us the total cash. Okay, so here the equation is 100 into 2x plus 50 into 3x plus 10 into 5x equal to 4 lakh. Okay, so this gives us 200x plus this gives us 150x, because 50 into 3x 150x plus 10 into 5x, that means 50x, gives us 4 lakh. Okay, so now if we add those values on the left side, it gives us 400x equal to 4 lakh. Okay, so we got 400x equal to 4 lakh. So here 400 is multiplied by x, so if we want to find out the value of x, we have to divide it by 400 on the both side. So we got 400x by 400, and on the right also, right side, it will give us like that. So if we cut it, and on the right side it gives us x, 400 omits 400, and here we got 1000. Okay, so ultimately we got the value of x is 1000. So here x is equal to 1000. Okay, now the ratio of the note is 2:3:5. Okay, and we have assumed that the number of notes is for 100 currency is 2x, 50 currency note is 3x, and 10 currency note is 5x. So the number of notes for 100 currency will be 2 into x, that means 2 into 1000, that means 2000. Okay, so number of 100 currency note is 2000. Okay, then the number of 50 currency note is 3x, we have assumed. So 3x means 3 into x, that means 3 into 1000, that means 3000. So number of 50 currency note is 3000, and last the number of 10 currency note will be 5x, that means 5 into 1000, 5 into 1000, it gives us 5000. Okay, so ultimately we got the number of ultimately we got the number of denomination of 100 notes, that is 2000. The number of denominations of 50 notes, that is 3000, and the number of denomination of 10 rupee note is 5000. Okay, therefore required denominations of notes of rupees 100 is 2000, 50 rupees, that is 3000, and for 10 rupees it is 5000 respectively. Okay, so I think it is clear to you. Okay, so again I am telling you, if you have the problem, then pause it and recap it. Okay, thank you.